Hello and happy Moonfire Faire 2025. So if you want to take part in this event, go over to Limsa Laminsa's upper decks at the Aft Castle. You will find yourself a quest called Dressed to Protect. This is available obviously to level 30 and above. And obviously I'm going to be doing this on my alts as well because it's going to give you a free costume. Speaking to Mayoru Moyoru will tell you basically about the event, and it will even show you what you get, which is a 4-piece glamour set called the Maritime attire, including top, shorts, sandals, and mirrored sunglasses. So let's go unlock this and have a look around. So with this event then, usually we have things on the Isle of Eternal Summer, which is this island over here, but you will notice that instead of it being on the island, we instead have a giant boat that's being docked, and this ship has water slides. I'm surprised that the jumping puzzle platform is not here. I think it would normally be here, quite a tall one, but it apparently isn't here this year because the giant ship seems to be taking place instead. The Queen Lamin. Oh, interesting. Very cool. Wow. So we've got all sorts of different places to go and eat, quote unquote. There's an orchestra on here. We've got all these floaties to go and sit on and have a nice relax. And then we also have some more sun loungers. And then we get all of the NPCs over here, including the vendors. As the quest progresses, you will be given a temporary maritime attire placed onto your character via a buff that lasts for 30 minutes. And we've got to go and have a look around. So one of the first things is down here in the water. And you will find various different characters floating around that we have to interact with. And after a couple of seconds talking to people and of course saving lives as a lifeguard, that's it for the quest, and we get the 4-piece set in total, the double dyeable 4-piece maritime attire. We will also get an achievement as well for the event, which this time around is uniformly guarded, giving us 10 achievement points. Whilst we're here, we can also go to the Moonfire Faire vendor just on the other side of the desk, and you can get a variety of different fireworks, sparklers, that kind of thing, if you're interested in getting a bunch of these. Okay then, this is the maritime attire, all 4 pieces of that. We've got obviously the sandals down there, we've got these shorts, and we've also got this top designed to look like a swimsuit then with a jacket on it, very similar as to real life with lifeguards that you see. Definitely sort of seen these when I went to Bondi Beach in Australia, in Sydney. That was one of my highlights of my life. I really quite like these shades actually. The mirrored glasses are really nice. I hope that we get these added in the future to faceware as well. I've really become quite a fan of the faceware system in this game. It's getting a lot better. The only thing I think that would prevent that is probably the visor command that comes with this that allows you to push it on top of your head. Beautiful colors though. I really like the tint on those. And of course that's the visor command / visor. I've macroed it to a button so that we can show it off without showing the UI. Looking pretty good, honestly. Obviously it's going to look a little bit better with a character with less hair. But yeah, cool. The jacket coming in this default sort of neon green, nice and easy to see, which is entirely the reason that lifeguards would have a color like this on their jacket. The shorts then are the dive shorts, and they have this logo, which I'm not really sure what it says, if it says anything, or if it's supposed to just look like a pattern. And then we have these sandals at the bottom on the feet then. They're lime green, made out of foam by the looks of it. And straps as well, made out of Velcro, presumably. So let's have a look at some dyes on this then. I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, nope, I wasn't surprised at how this dye palette would work. So obviously we've got the first palette being the main color, and then the secondary, at least for the top, being the undershirt, the basically the wetsuit. And then on the shorts, the secondary is that logo. And then on the sandals, it's the bottom of the actual sandal itself. the foam section, with the top bit being the primary color. And the shades are actually really useful here. They're really good dye options if you wanted to have your own custom colors. Yeah, double dye shades with a visor command, really cool, as long as you don't want to use a helm as well, which is why I think they need to add the visor command into the face wear option. I know that's probably possible. It might be something that we have to request though, and who knows when that would ever make it into the game. Yeah, I mean, this outfit honestly isn't my cup of tea. It's very sporty. I'm not a very sport enthusiast sort of person. Obviously it's a lifeguard sort of thing, so it's cool in that regard, but it is obviously gonna have a use in creating glamours in conjunction with some of the other sport related things, like the new PvP rank 25 armor, things like that. Not my cup of tea personally. And yeah, it just reminds me of my PE teacher from school, who was a complete and utter So yeah, I'm not a massive fan of this outfit in its entirety, but different parts of it I'm sure I would, you know, mix and match between. Yeah, definitely the shades. Not so sure about the rest. Maybe I could use those shorts in conjunction with some long boots or something. Maybe make something completely different with this. But quite honestly, I'm not really sure. Here's a preview of what it looks like on my male alt. I went and did the quest on that character. The quest honestly could have been a bit longer. I was a bit disappointed in that personally, but I suppose that is the way a lot of these seasonal quests seem to go, unfortunately. At least the event venue looks pretty good though. And obviously one of the best bits about having a seasonal event is that we can store the items in our armoire instead of taking up precious glamour dresser space. Of course, this does not save any dyes that you've applied to it, but of course we can just create some glamour plates with this if we so wish to. One of the coolest things is that unless you come here at night, you're probably not going to see this. All the lights come on the ship, looking absolutely awesome. There's people sliding down the slide, having an absolute whale of a time. It's just fascinating to look at, seeing people enjoy themselves. Again, limited in scope in terms of what you can do here, but at least it's something. I do kind of miss the giant jumping puzzle. The new one is okay. Like, it's not bad. It's still got a little bit of difficulty in there, but I do think that the original should have been here at the same time, even though they're basically on the same place. But look how cool this looks at night. The pool is lit up, so if you want some nice G-pose pictures with your character sat in one of these floats, like those characters are over there, then yeah, you've got a nice reflective surface on the float, and then you've got the beautiful neon background. Really, really cool, actually. I like this area. We got to test the slide. That's the first thing we got to test. Whee! Oh, it's great. It's just like Ilmeg. Oh, wow. That special animation of holding your nose and then basically bombing into the water. That's fantastic. So at the event, we have a variety of different activities. First of all, we've got a cannon ride. If we load ourselves into a cannon, we can get fired out of a cannon. Doing almost like a swan dive, and then we gave up, and then a bit of a splash, which is quite fun, actually. I do like that. And instead of mounting, just simply go back to one of these, and it will send you all the way back up one of the water spouts, which is quite nice. So there's a variety of characters that you may or may not be familiar with, hanging out, relaxing, you know. You might see some particular NPCs that you wouldn't expect here, so definitely keep your eyes open, you know, just in case certain characters decide to come and also chill out this midsummer. You can have a nice little doze on these fully working recliners. If you do /doze, you basically do sleep animations, as you would expect, so we can get a suntan. Awesome. Chloe Alia pose here. And so is Geely. There are even some Leporets dancing around. Everybody do the lop. There's stuff everywhere that you might not see immediately. There's ladies who are serving drinks on these trays. Look at that emote. I want that emote. A serving emote? Imagine how cool that would be to have that. as an RP emote. Well, it's so cool with the drinks out of the coconuts. That's definitely something on my wish list for certain. Then we've got these beautiful ice creams. Well, sorbet and melon. The previous event items, basically. Very cool. The corn on the cob. Great. The Felicitous Fur Ball is here. And so are one of the mammoths from your island sanctuary. I suppose this is sufficiently inspiring. This is great. I love this so much. So many little characters. I wonder if these only show if you actually did the island sanctuary stuff. I'm sure there's lots of little caveats to whether what NPCs can appear or not. Very cool stuff. So then, in summary, what do I feel about this event? The event quest is too short. I feel like there should have been a subsequent quest after the reward quest. If they wanted to separate it and make it easy to get the reward and quick for ults, etc., that's fine. But it would be nice to have a follow-up quest that's a little bit more involved. Maybe have some, callbacks to previous characters from, previous years or something. I have no idea. But, yeah, I think a lot of people will say that the story is way too short. Yeah, I suppose that's a good thing for anybody logging onto their ults, though, trying to get the outfit. It will take you like 30 seconds to get, basically, jumping in and out of the water. Apart from that, the actual event venue is probably the thing that sticks out the most. Something different rather than just the same jumping puzzle. We've now got this giant ship with its own jumping puzzle. It'd be nice if they could move the boat to the left and put the old one back in as well. Maybe I'm being greedy here, but why take things away? Why not just add to them? If we're going to have a water park and a jumping platform area, kind of like Total Wipeout. It makes perfect sense to me. Maybe they'll do that in the future, hopefully. But yeah, all in all, the event's kind of so-so. It depends on if you like doing G-Pose, because if you do, it's fantastic. If you don't, you're going to have a short time with the quest, and the reward itself probably is quite niche, and probably isn't everyone's cup of tea. Anyway, let me know what you think about the event, and what you would do to improve it. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.